Lucha, 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 lucha. Hey guys, how you doing? My name is CODENAMEBIGBEAR, or Stuart if you want to call me by my first name. Welcome to the Bear's Den. Today we're going to be taking a little look at two games. It is going to be Guacamelee 1 and Guacamelee 2, hence the Lucha. Before we do that, let's guess what this picture is, eh? So Guacamelee is a metriod-vania style game where it's all about, well, it's all about wrestling, I suppose. You know, I say it's about wrestling. It's not actually about wrestling. You just happen to play a Luchdor who saves the day. You are a superhero Luchdor. Luchdor? I just can't pronounce things today. But you play as Juan, and Juan basically has to try and save El Presidente's daughter from Calica, at least in the first game anyway. And you get killed by Calica, and you find a wrestling mask that gives you the powers of super luchadors, I guess. He ends up bursting out of his shirt, tattoos appearing everywhere, and he can now like do all these crazy wrestling moves. And it's just really, really good fun. You explore the world, you meet all these crazy skeleton characters. Everything is themed with kind of Dios de los Muertos theme all the way through it. By the way, I do realise that Halloween was been and gone. I did miss that last week, so I'm just doing one now. I just couldn't bother, I'm just doing it. Hopefully I like it or not. And you meet a crazy array of characters. Most of your villains are skeleton based. I find it quite funny that I put this on. Didn't even think about skeletons when I put this on for this review. So you got to save the world, and how you're going to do that is by punching and kicking your way through, through the Mexiverse, as it is later known as in the second game. And you've got to use like power moves, like super uppercuts, suplexes, pile drivers, all those kind of things are using to get yourself around the world. Each move you unlock a new area you can get to. You have these kind of color blocks that go with said moves. So a super headbutt is yellow, for instance. You headbutt through the yellow blocks. You have a kind of like a dash punch. It can get you through blue blocks, but there's also a variation of that when blue blocks are really far away. You can kind of wall climb and shoot your way across the screen. So there's loads of little things to do there, but also this game is just full of references. Now in the second game, they do actually mention this quite a lot. I say quite a lot. They actually have a whole section dedicated to it, to fan annoyance of the first game. Kind of referencing lots of memes saying how tired it was, and personally I just thought it was quite funny. I just really enjoyed the whole thing. But these references kind of stem all the way through both of these games, ranging from the Lucha Bros, which is basically Mario and Luigi in kind of luchador outfits on a board. It has a Black Panther reference. It has all sorts of stuff throughout. It even has like memes, literal memes being referenced within this game as well. And that adds to the comedy, and the game is very funny. I found myself chuckling all the way through it. And it came from like Uechiva, who is a goat man who just doesn't want you to smash any of his statues, and he gets really irate. He's probably one of the funniest characters in this game. Then you also have like a RPG elements almost. In the first game it's quite limited. I'm going to talk more about the second game with what you can and can't do as well, because, well, I just finished playing it. But you have like this kind of like a skill tree, so you go to a certain place, you learn certain moves, you learn all your moves, but you also can add your power-ups, and you kind of got a shop that you can go through. You can buy costumes, you can buy your power-ups, you can buy health upgrades, stamina upgrades, all that kind of thing. Even wrestling moves as well you can buy, so the suplex, for instance, you can have that as well. In the second game it's more of like a tree, where you have like, you meet other characters and they go, hey, I've got some skills you can learn from me, you just got to buy them. And you kind of go in the blocks, you pick the one to get like a power-up of said power-up as it goes. It's not as complicated as I'm making it, I promise. It really isn't. But how you do this is by collecting gold or gold coins, and you get them by beating up enemies, and there's lots of enemies to beat up in this game. They're always respawning in areas as well. But you have the so you have the general trope of like temples within this game, within these games. You know, you have Inferno, which is hell, so that'll be your lava level, I guess. You have Serpent level, which is in the second game, where they're all so different and so unique. You can't kind of go, that's the water temple, that's the lava temple, this is the forest temple, this is this, because the temples themselves look so different. Yes, they have a slight theme, it might have lava in it, for instance, but then you've also got ones that are just full of these kind of, you know, like the thorns that appear at the end of Sleeping Beauty. Kind of like those. If you hit those, you end up back on a platform where you started, and then you got loads of new stuff coming in, all again adding to your moveset and making you use that moveset. And that's one thing I really loved about this game. So the back and forth wasn't too terrible. I wasn't terrible at all. I didn't find myself bored doing that at all, because I always find something new on the way, checking them out to do so. But using your power-ups to get yourself through certain levels. So for instance, there is there's these temples where you've got to get golden key parts for when you're a chicken, to help the chicken Illuminati open up the big door to find a secret message. This is in Guacamelee 2, by the way. And you you can either be a chicken and do certain moves, or you can be Juan and have your full arrangement of moves. And these levels really task you to use every move in your arsenal to get through them. One of them that I was playing, I think I have some video of it, I'm not sure, cannot remember, I'm really sorry if it's not here. If it is, hooray, it'll be on the screen. There was a point where you start off as one, and every bit of shadows, you have a shadow going across here and a shadow going across there, and every time you're in shadow, you're safe. But if you're not in shadow, there's just lava, or you're just gonna die. And it's all about learning the path and learning what you can and can't do, and using the skills to get you through this area to get to the golden key, or golden key part. And even though it's frustrating, I never felt it was unfair. There was a few times where I hit the wrong button purely because I went to press A and I was playing on a Switch, and I ended up hitting B instead because it's in a different position, in case you didn't know. And that was a bit annoying, but you know, it wasn't the game's fault. Sometimes it was just pixel perfect, you had to be, or you just didn't quite do something at the beginning of the area. So again, back to this level, you hop over these bits, and then you got like a grabbing piece that shoots you across, but then you've got a wall that's going vertically up with like a treadmill, and if you hang on that too long, you're going to get hit by the lava wall, and you're not going to have a chance to use the other pull thing that's going to take you across. So I found that, you know, if I just quick double jump, and then as soon as I hit the wall, jump off and use it again, I can get through this bit of the level. And it was things like that that make these games really, really great. Yes, the comedy is brilliant. The gameplay is just fantastic. The platforming is amazing. If you're not a fan of platforming, I honestly don't know why. I think it's probably the most fun you can have. You know, because you are learning on the way with the game. But if you're not a fan of platforming, I would suggest giving this a go. The art style in this game alone is great. The fact that it is as funny as it is and ridiculous as it is, playing into stereotypes and then really going against those stereotypes as well. But also kind of playing into, you know, what kind of things you expect to see in the land of the dead, from the stories and from the people's telling of, and how it's presented in many other media in Mexico. And it's a really fantastic game. I'm sure you can guess, I really enjoyed this. I know I chucked it about 15 hours into each game. You could probably do it a little bit quicker than that, but there were times where I was just stuck on a level for a good couple hours, getting caught out on the same parts, and yes, that became really frustrating. But once I did it, the feeling of accomplishment was really great. Think like longer versions of Cuphead. So if you play in Cuphead, you're getting battered over and over again. You see that progression bar, you know that you're getting further. Sometimes you can get to the next checkpoint and you're like, oh, I'm actually further, I'm going to get close, I'm going to be there soon. It was a really, really great, just the level design in this game, just so good. Everything about this game was just really funny and really well presented and bright and colourful. And you have this exploration thing, you have these interesting characters. You know, Juan, he doesn't say a word, but I absolutely love the guy. I think he's brilliant. He's just there like posing, you know, and just kind of, why did I do that? But I genuinely love this guy, and I think he was really good. Huan is absolutely great. He's kind of like Link from from Legend of Zelda. He doesn't say a word, but everyone responds to you as though he was speaking, and they kind of repeat back what you said, so you have a basic idea of what was going on. Sometimes it doesn't do that. It plays on that, and it kind of makes fun of those kind of things. So there's just a lot of fun to be had with this game. So I'm not really going to score this game. Basically, here at Respawning, there are a few of us. I'm just going to name and shame you guys. Sorry, but Luke, Javier, Mikey, Will, you've all given games 10s out of 10s. I've done it myself with Alan Wake. That game is centuries old, but modern games that have come out now, giving it 10s out of 10s. And looking at lots of people's reactions, no game is perfect. No game deserves a 10 out of 10. 9s I would have fully accepted. But that's my point. No game is perfect. You can't really give it a score. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So, in a sense, what I'm going to do now, from now on, at least going to try that out anyway, is basically give the games like a thumbs up, or a thumbs down, or a bear paw up, or a bear paw down. I don't know, does it get a gold star? I'll figure something out. Maybe we'll have something in a corner anyway. But essentially, this game gets this. Yeah? Happy? Yeah? It's got a smiley face. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I haven't decided on what I'm going to edit yet. But anyway, I really enjoyed Guacamelee 1 and 2. I found them on a Switch. They were relatively cheap. In fact, I used a lot of gold coins to get the second one. I just had a blast with this game. These games. I'd fully recommend them if you've never played them. If you looked at them before and gone, I'm not sure, just give it a go. If you find it cheap, and because you can on Switch get for maybe £8, which is beyond worth it, to be honest. Give it a go. You might actually find yourself really enjoying it. There's a whole chicken mode that I didn't go into. I spoke about it a little bit. That's a hell of a lot of fun as well. But anyway, guys, that is the Bear's Den for today. Oh! I forgot! What's the drawing, right? Let's get into that clip. So that was Master Chief, that was the game. Thank you so much for watching Bear's Den. If you want more suggestions for these light pictures, please write them in below. Give me a suggestion for what you might want to see me try and attempt to draw. I've got like 16 more to go through, so you may even have one suggested already. I don't know, but give me an idea and I'll see what I can do. Give us a like, share, subscribe, put comments down below. It really helps us out. And most of all, guys, don't forget to be nice to each other, yeah?